We in Parliament have also been accused that we are rent seekers, that we go to ask people for money. I want the President to tell this country, who are these people who go and ask his cabinet secretaries for money? They are his cabinet secretaries. Who are these people that ask governors for money? Let them tell us. Let them tell us. To make blanket accusations, and I want to say this. You see, personally like Sifuna, personally as Sifuna, I had taken a public position on Gachagua way prior to the impeachment. Are you telling me you paid me to do something I already wanted to do? Had I not gone on record objecting to some of the things that were coming from the pulpit of the Deputy President? I had said it. Was I going to demand that you pay me to impeach Gachagua? So, Honorable Kalonzo, some of these things that people say, they are besmirching the entire house. If somebody has come to ask you for money, say Sifuna asked me for money. There's a cabinet secretary who claims when they come to the Senate that somehow we ask them for money to be nice to them. I am a member of the Public Accounts Committee. Our proceedings are live. Those of you who have watched those proceedings, do you see a nice Sifuna? Is that what they pay me to do? Anyway, it's a difficult conversation, but we need to all agree.
Oh my God!
I may not be your best, and I don't claim to be, but I'm the one you have.
So I do agree with Sifuna in whatever he's saying, because most of the MPs in Parliament are from Ruto's party, and those that are not from his party are from ODM. And now that him and Raila are working together, then it means that he's controlling Parliament, meaning the legislature. As much as he is accusing them to be corrupt, he has control of most of them. And if the legislature is asking for bribes from his ministers or his cabinet, then he should know who. He should ask his ministers and to tell him this guy or this guy or this guy is asking for bribe. And since he's the leader of both teams, he should be able to solve it. So him going on a public platform to cry to the country for the MPs not to be corrupt is hypocritical.
Yesterday I came in and there was a conversation here that was going on. I found the Attorney General addressing this gathering, and she suggested that what leaders need more is prayer. I am not discounting the value of prayer, but if you are put in a position of advice, the most critical thing you need to do for your leadership is to give them the proper advice. These council members here are supposed to give good and proper advice to the President of the Law Society of Kenya. The Attorney General is supposed to give proper advice to the President. And the murmurs you are hearing in the hall is because many of us at the back there were shouting, you are preaching to the choir. The people who need that advice are not these lawyers. We know what the law is. We know what anticipatory bail means. The person you are supposed to be speaking to is your boss, because he's the one who doesn't know what anticipatory bail is. So, I hope she understands. She understands the concern that we have as a people, as lawyers, with everything that has been done by this administration to claw back on the freedoms and gains of the people. She spoke about anticipatory bail. She even tried to suggest, I don't know which era her mind slips to, that there were some, offenses that were not bailable. That is something we left back many years ago. And I hope she would also address herself to this theme of Kamata Fridays and pre-trial detention applications by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution here, which is being used by the Director of Public Prosecution. My understanding of your role, I think it is Article 157, that in the execution of your duties under the Constitution, you must have regard to two things: the public interest in the administration of justice and the need to prevent and or avoid abuse of the legal process. Now, when you sit in your office approving these charge sheets that are being manufactured in the police stations, do you ever lend your mind to your responsibility to us as the people who are being charged with some of these offenses that Dr. Kalonzo has spoken about? The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and I will say this without blinking, is a weak link in the fight against arms of power in this country. You have a responsibility when you are approving that charge sheet to remember that it is you to prevent abuse of power and process in this country. So we are here to call you out as well and tell you we are not very happy. The Chief Justice of this Republic gave us a history of these rights. You know, people always forget that everything that has been put in the Constitution is drawn out of the experience of Kenyans with previous regimes. There is an experience to it. In fact, I always refer people to the CKRC report. You will understand the why. Why are these things framed in the manner that they are framed in the current Constitution? So, I always go back. If you want to understand the frame of mind of Kenyans, why they say the DPP needs to also prevent abuse of process. Because there was a prosecutor called Bernard Chunga. Everybody remembers Bernard Chunga. Maybe the other ones may not remember. Yeah. So, there is a historical context to some of these things. And the CJ took us through that history. And she spoke about corruption as well. And she asked, who is this that is bringing corruption to the judiciary? We in Parliament have also been accused